Hey everybody, CW here, Card Wolf, because I am always on the hunt for great cards. Today is Friday, and that means Dorking with dice. It's the first one of the year that we will have vintage baseball in the box. So I'm pretty pumped about that. Baseball season technically started last week, but I wanted one more Dorking with dice on ice, and we did that last Friday, and it was worth it. We pulled some awesome stuff, hit some great packs. If you missed last Friday's episode and you enjoy hockey at all, that is one you will not want to miss. This week, it is an even mix of vintage hockey and vintage baseball in the box. Some great packs in here. Starting it off with some good stuff. Lots of good hockey, lots of good baseball. Got some extra special packs in the 1, 10, and 20 spot, as always. And a little something good in the 17 spot, too. Let's get to it. See what our first pack is going to be. See if we hit our first baseball pack of the year in Dorking with Dice here on the Card Wolf Network. First episode of April, and it is the first pack being a 6. Let's see how we do that. I know this is the 10 pack here, so this is 9, 8, 7, and 6 is indeed a baseball pack. How about that? We start off the episode right. We got a Leaf baseball pack, which is wreaking havoc with my camera because it's so darn shiny. It is 1992 edition Series 2, and this is one that we have not opened on the channel for quite a while. I can't remember the last time I put one of these in the box. So very nice to start off with something that many of you haven't seen. Gold Leaf rookies are advertised on the back, and we do have a shot at pulling cards 13 through 24 from that insert set here in Series 2 packs. So we do that. Some other inserts in here as well. So hopefully we will hit something good. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel today, and I hope that you are having a good end to your week. Lenny Dykstra starts things off here for the Phillies. I remember Dykstra being in the league for a long time and having some success. I believe he went to the All-Star game a couple of times. Lenny Dykstra, a good player. All right, we've got something good here. That is a pretty sweet card. It's Joe Baver, not a player that I'm all that excited about. The camera would focus on it, be a lot better. There we go, but very nice black Leaf gold edition card there. That is pretty sweet. You don't pull one of those in every pack, so that is a nice card there. Just wish it was a better player. Joe Baver, not a guy that I was ever that into. Jack McDowell, black Jack McDowell, good pitcher for the White Sox for many years. Craig Lefferts, another good pitcher there. Lefferts stayed in the league for a long time, and there were certainly a couple of seasons where I think people considered him to be an ace. Bruce Ruffin and Jeff King. We got Moises Alou, of course, a good player there for Montreal. Why do I keep going out of focus? What is the deal here? I do not like it. I want to stay in focus with these cards. Chris Jones and Chuck Finley, good player there for the Angels. Thomas Howard, who I do not remember for Cleveland, but I guess Howard, I don't know. I really don't remember Thomas Howard. I remember Howard Johnson, totally different guy. George Bell there with the White Sox. Remember George Bell with, I think, the Indians and the Blue Jays. I don't remember him with the White Sox, but I guess maybe he finished up his career there. I'm not too sure. You got Chili Davis there with the Twins playing DH for them towards the end of his career. Chili Davis, I believe, came up into the league in 81 with the Giants. And was a fun player to watch. He had a lot of enthusiasm. He was kind of a good leadoff hitter, good guy to get on base because he could steal for you. But never really, I think everybody thought Chili Davis was going to be kind of, perennial all-star type player, and he never really panned out in that way. Bob Welch, longtime pitcher in the MLB, played for the Dodgers, and I believe went to the World Series with them in the late 70s. John Kruk tackling Kirk Gibson there, bringing him to the ground as though they are playing rugby. I do not know what is happening there. John Kruk is now a baseball card collector and dealer. You can find his listings on eBay under Kruk Cards, and I've actually bought from him before in the past, and great service, and I'm sure he has a bunch of people working for him. I doubt John himself ever touched any of the cards that I bought, but nonetheless, pretty neat to see when players themselves become collectors. There's the back of that, Kruk at the bat there and not tackling other players. I believe that's Kirk Gibson. I could be wrong, but I believe that is the player he's bringing to the ground there, which seems rude. But what do you have? Bobby Bonilla there for the Mets. Of course, good player for the Pirates and the Mets for quite a few years. So fun pack, really cool to see the Leaf Gold card there in the black with the gold foil there. Very nice to pull one of those. You don't see those too often. So fun first pack. No big cards out of there for the Wolf Lair, but let's see if we can do better in the second pack here. What are we going to roll for our second pack on today's episode of Dorking with Dice? It's pack 15. We'll count back from pack 20. There's 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, and 15 is another Leaf baseball pack. This is not a baseball pack, it's a hockey pack. Sorry, I misspoke, but it is another Leaf pack. That's kind of weird. Those were the only two Leaf packs in the box. One baseball, one hockey. This is 93, 94 Leaf hockey, so we get two Leaf packs to start this episode off. This was once purchased by me from Hill's Department Store in Maryland. This is not a store that exists any longer. It looks like it was $1.86 randomly. These were usually, I think, $1.99. So Hill's usually had a little bit of discount on most anything you bought there. Some good stuff in here, including several insert sets, all-stars, and rookie inserts. You can also pull Leaf Gold cards from this set as well, and maybe we will get one. So that would be pretty neat. We start off, get that out of the way. We start off with Murray Craven from Vancouver for you. And these are nice cards. I like the backs of these cards as well because they show skyline photos from the city that the team is from, in this case Vancouver. And you got that big glowing ball there that looks like that. Most of you have never watched the old TV show Alias, but there's a big sort of glowing ball like that floated over, I think, Vienna in Alias, and they had to deal with that. Brian Smolinski from the Bruins, and Cale Johansson there from the Caps. These are this middle section is a little bit sticky, oddly. I don't know why suddenly they would be. And there you have beautiful Capitol Dome there with looks like the cherry blossoms. I don't know. I can't tell if that's snow on the trees or the cherry blossoms, but in any event, got a nice photo of the Capitol building. Thomas Steen for Winnipeg and John Tucker. We got another Canucks player here with Cliff Ronning skating for Vancouver, and Yves Racine for the Red Wings. Good player for them for a while. Let's see what the Detroit skyline looks like. That's about what I expected. Yeah, there you go. So that's pretty accurate. Andrew Cassels from the Whalers. Flip this whole thing over here. We got another Calgary card. It's Robert Reichel. Good player for them for a little while. What does it look like in Calgary? That is what it looks like in Calgary. You do have some ink loss up there. And that is Calgary for you. Steve Hines from the Bruins. And finally got a Hall of Famer out here, Paul Coffey for the Red Wings. Of course, he came to fame with the Oilers, but there he is with Detroit. Is it the same picture? It is the same picture of Detroit on the back. It almost looks like Paul Coffey is straddling the public transit system there. We got Peter Bondra from the Caps. Will it be the same picture on the back? No, it's different. It is a giant photo of the Lincoln Memorial with Lincoln's head in the background. That is kind of frightening and surrealistic, I have to say. I would be haunted by that card if I had pulled that as a child. Mike Vernon for Calgary, and we finish off with, that's a pretty cool card, the Canadiens Stanley Cup champions, 92-93. It's not very cool because it's not in focus. There we go. That's a pretty cool card. I don't think I've ever seen that card. So that's actually kind of fun to pull. I don't remember ever getting that card. That's pretty neat. And there they are, hoisting the cup on the back. Patrick Raw hoisting the cup for them. Of course, the Hall of Fame goalie. I will ask Shane, as I always do whenever I pull a card of somebody hoisting the Stanley Cup. Shane, if you don't have this one and want it, just let me know and I'll mail it to you. Shane at Shoebox Legends collects cards of players hoisting the cup. I'm going to leave that one on top because that was easily the best card out of there. We got hockey on this side, baseball on this side. Which one will we get more of today? I don't know. Let's see what we get for our third pack on Dorking with Dice today. It is pack 3. Moving that along there. 1, 2, 3. That's an easy pull. And it is one we've never opened on the channel. 1992 hockey draft pick cards. I don't think we've ever opened this one. We had a really good pack last week of pre-rookie cards. I don't think it was a draft pick pack. I think it was, maybe it was a draft pack. I don't remember, but it wasn't this one. And that inspired me to want to put another pre-rookie pack in here. You don't really see a lot of hockey pre-rookie cards in the world, and you certainly don't see packs of them getting open. This is also from Classic, and I think last week's was from Classic too, but I think it was a little later. I think it was like 94 and 95, and it was a great pack. We pulled an acetate Timu Solane out of there. Beautiful card that I'm delighted to have in my PC now. So let's see what we get out of here. Some limited print cards they have advertised on the back here for several pre-rookies. Looks like some good names in here, including Roman Hammerlich and Valerie Bure and Alexei Yashin. Several other notable players on there, but we'll see what we get out of here. If you've never seen this pack ripped before, I am glad to show it to you for the first time. I think I may have opened one of these like years ago on the channel, but it's been quite a while. Robert Petrovicki, who was a center. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the minor league team logos. The previous pack that we opened last week from the other year did have that. They were a little nicer than these cards, but they do have different photos on the back than the front, which I always appreciate a great deal. Get that where there's no glare so you can actually see it. It looks like he's playing maybe for Team Finland or something like that. Darren Medelli, or I guess that's Medelli. I don't remember that player. Goalie there. Denny Felsner. I don't know that any of these players have made the NHL, or I don't remember if they did. Victor Kozlov, who I believe might have. We got Mario Lemieux flashback card. That is a sweet card. I like that one a lot. Flashback card of Lemieux playing pre-rookie hockey there. That is a pretty sweet card. I like that one a lot. That's definitely a Wolfler one. I've never seen that card before. Denny Felsner returns, and I don't know why they felt Denny Felsner was going to merit two cards in this set, but he gets one where he's skating and one where he is airborne. I kind of like cards where players are airborne. I don't officially collect them, but I always like seeing them. So I'm actually going to put that in the Wolfler too. That's just a cool card. I don't remember Denny Felsner at all. Keith Gretzky, check that out. When is the last time you've seen a Keith Gretzky card? That is pretty darn cool. I have to say, that is kind of neat there. And he's pumped on the back. Look how excited Keith Gretzky is on the back there. He is thrilled. It's a good thing he's wearing some padding under there. Otherwise, we'd be seeing some bare skin under there. I don't really want to see that guy's midriff. I don't know. I'm tempted to keep that one. I'm not sure. If somebody wants that. Somebody asked for... we pulled... What's that? Well, it might have been a different Gretzky, or I don't remember who it was. Now I'm completely... It was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Sean Burke, we pulled another Gretzky of some kind 2 or 3 weeks ago that somebody asked for. Kevin Wortman sticking out his tongue while he plays, which is not a good idea. Do not try that at home. And Paul Kruse for an unknown minor league team there. And there is just sitting on the... I don't know, sitting on the gate there. I don't approve of that. I don't think they'd allow that in the NHL there, Paul Kruse. So don't try getting away with that if you get promoted up to the bigs. Let's see what our fourth pack is going to be on Dorking with Dice today. We've gotten 2 hockey, 1 baseball, and it is bouncing around to the 10-pack. Yes! All right, we got one of our big packs. This is a hockey pack that has been in the box for a while, and we finally get to open it. We hit 20 last week, and that was awesome. We hit 10 this week. Hopefully this will be equally awesome. We got some great cards out of the packs we opened for the 20 roll. Let's see if we can get something awesome out of this Dynagon Ice Pack. This is from 98.99. You get 5 cards in this pack. Brodeur on the front there, but beautiful cards. I have opened this pack, one of these packs. I think I opened one earlier in the hockey season this year. It might have been in the fall. And beautiful packs and lots of interesting stuff that you can get out of here, including Ice Blue Parallels. The checklists are very, very tough pulls. Preeminent players, Ice Watchman. Ice Watchman, I've definitely never pulled one of those, and I would like to today. Forward Thinking and Ice Rookies, which is hobby only. The stated odds are kind of insane to pull any of that stuff. I believe that this is a hobby pack, but I could be wrong about that. I can't remember ever buying this in like a retail store. I only remember buying this in hobby stores or at card shows. So I guess we have a shot at that. The best one we have a shot at is probably the checklist cards. You get one of those, you get 2 of those in every 37 packs. The rest of these, not so good. Forward Thinking is probably the next best one. You get one of those in every 30. But I want one of these Ice Watchman cards. I'm obsessed with that. I'm going to have to look up what those cards even look like in case we don't pull one today, which the odds are very much against us pulling one, just in case you were curious. All right, check these out. These are beautiful cards. You will, if you've seen my show a lot, you may remember me opening a pack of these in the past. Andrew Cassell starts things off there. Really, I mean, I think these are great designs on these cards. That's what the back looks like. Different photo on the back than the front, which I always appreciate a lot. Andrew Cassell starting things off with a Dynagon ice pack from 98-99. We got Yaroslav Sivkovsky from the Caps back when they wore the blue uniforms, which I actually really liked. I mean, their traditional uniforms are white and red with just a dash of blue, but I always liked those blue uniforms. I wish they'd kind of stuck with those for a little bit longer, but in any event. Vaclav Varda there from Buffalo, back when they actually had buffaloes on their jerseys, which I always liked as well. And we got Jason Arno. That's a pretty good card. Not too bad there with the Devils, longtime NHLer. And we finish off with John LeClair. That's not a bad one either. John LeClair, good player for the Flyers for quite a while. Very nice to see that. So some pretty good cards. Last two, not too bad there. I don't know if John LeClair's in the Hall of Fame or not. I kind of don't think he is, but still, good star. So I think hockey is going to win it today. It's already got 3 packs, but I'm going to roll another pack anyway and see if baseball can at least put in a good showing, since this is the first week of the year that we've got baseball in the Magic Box. See how we do on our last roll of the day for Dorking with Dice. It's pack number 4. The Dice was very determined that it would be pack number 4. All right, we know that we opened 3, so I'm going to start from the top here. 1, 2, we opened 3. Pack 4 is indeed baseball, and it is a real wax pack from the 80s, which is awesome. 1987 Topps baseball. Some good rookies in here that we can look for, including Bonds and Bo Jackson, and lots and lots of Hall of Famers in here as well. We can also get in the Topps time machine and go back and win a trip to 1988 spring training with the Spring Fever Baseball Contest, which would be a lot of fun as well. All right, let's see how we do here in this 1987 wax pack. Very excited to get into some baseball this week. And we got a little stickage there. Looks like it's stuck to a checklist, though, so no great loss there. Put that pack over there and put the contest card on top. All right, there's the Spring Fever Baseball Contest. We can dispose of that because my time machine is not functioning right now. Jim Wolford with the Expos. I did not remember him playing with the Expos. He was in the majors for an inordinate amount of time. I do not think of Jim Wolford as being a guy who was like a great player or anything, but he seemed to manage to stay on teams for a long time, which makes me, whenever I see a player like that who's just kind of, he's an adequate player, nothing wrong with that. I mean, you made it to the major leagues. You got to have some talent. But if they stick around in the league for as long as a guy like Wolford did, I think to myself, that guy probably was like a really great guy to have in the clubhouse. He was probably just a really like positive guy who kept morale up, and teams just wanted to have him around. He was good with other players, kept morale up. Maybe he was a good mentor to young players, something like that. So I don't know much about Jim Wolford, but that's my guess, given how long he stayed in the majors. We got Dennis Powell there, who did not stay in the majors for very long, and I know nothing about that player. Orlando Mercado, pretty good player there for the Rangers. Walt Terrell, who pitched for the Tigers for a little while. Mike Pagliarulo, whose nickname was Pags, which I would never have stood for were I Mike Pagliarulo. I would have insisted that my nickname get changed to something. Pags it's not a flattering nickname, I'm just saying. Wade Rowden there, who I don't think stuck around for very long. Eric Plunk, pretty good pitcher. I remember Eric Plunk being a middle reliever. That is probably his family back there. The only people in the stadium watching Eric Plunk warm up, sitting in the stands way before the game starts. They want to go out and see their family member, Eric Plunk, warm up there. We got Sid Fernandez, good player for the Mets for a while. Joe Price, lots of pitchers in this 1987 pack of Topps. Nice turn back the clock card there of Roberto Clemente from 1972. Very nice to get those. I always like those turn back the clock cards, but I always like vintage cards anyway, so that's not surprising. Got a Royals leader card there, and that looks like Frank White, who was indeed a Royals leader, and maybe George Brett. I think that's Brett. Anyway, everybody knows about George Brett. He's in the Hall of Fame as one of the greatest third basemen, maybe of all time. Frank White was their second baseman. And who has a statue outside of the stadium in Kansas City? Is it George Brett or Frank White? It's Frank White. So what does that tell you about that player? You're talking about a guy who was great for the team, awesome with fans, and somebody who lasted a very long time with the Royals and was a friend to George Brett, certainly. Frank White is just beloved in Kansas City, was a wonderful, wonderful person and a really good player. Frank White went to the All-Star game a couple of times. Cliff Johnson there kind of traveled around the league, played for a lot of different teams. Good guy to have as like a DH, was kind of, a sometimes slugger. Cliff Johnson. Jack Morris, Hall of Famer there, good pitcher for Detroit for many years, and then for the Twins. Darryl Porter, good catcher, came up with the Brewers and was kind of a star for the Brewers for a while, then ended up in Texas and kind of had a difficult situation in his life and passed away very early. You can look that up online if you want to know more about Darryl Porter. Mark Huisman and Rudy Law, and we finish off with that wood grain checklist card there. You don't see those very often, and they're kind of, I don't know. As far as checklist cards go, I don't enjoy checklist cards, and I pull them every week on Dorking with Dice, it seems like. But that one's not bad. I like the wood grain on the checklist card there. That's kind of neat. So no big cards out of there. In fact, no big cards this week. We got a couple of cards out of there that I guess will go into my PC. The Lemieux certainly will, at any rate. And we'll go back through and maybe examine some of these cards and decide if I want to add any of those. But fun rip nonetheless. Nice to get some vintage baseball back in the box. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I'll be back next week on Monday with a mail day as usual. And I look forward to seeing you then. Hope you have a great weekend. You get to relax or do anything that you are looking forward to doing. As always, happy collecting.